Hi Flosstube, it's Karen, recovering monogamous stitcher, and I am back today with Flosstube number 55. I am recording this on Friday, October 11th, 2024. Welcome, I'm so happy to have you here. My subscribers, I'm so happy to have you back. I always appreciate our communications and comments and back and forth in the comments. Thank you so much for returning. And if you're new here, you're so welcome. I'm glad you found my channel. However you found it, thank you for stopping by. I hope you see something you like and that you will both like the video and subscribe. My subscribers have grown in the last month. What was the last one I looked up? I think it said in the last 28 days I had, it was 100. It was right nearly 100, either just above or just below. So I appreciate it very much. So I will try to remember that many of you who are watching are new, and I'll try to explain things and not use jargon and shortcut and things that my longtime viewers have learned about me. So from the last video, usually I'm responding to a question or something from a previous video. On our last video, I had two people who asked if I would please demonstrate how I make my project bags. And I'm thinking about that. It's going to be tricky for me, but I'm going to try. I don't have equipment to give special camera angles, so that's a challenge, and I don't edit. So I have to be very organized and ready to show next step, next step, next step. I will work on it, so you can be watching for that. So what have I done in the last 2 weeks? I went to a retreat in Litchfield, Kentucky, and I'm going to report on that a little bit later in the video. Let me just clue you in, it was great. I have been working in my sewing room on projects. I've reorganized my DMC, but it's not a finished product yet. So, but that really, it just eats up time, plus spreads stuff out all over the place. But it felt good to get a handle on what I actually have and what I have duplicates of and so forth. So I'm working on that yet. And in the last 2 weeks, I was able to stitch every single day, so that was good. Okay, I have, I'm going to do a parade. We're going to have a parade later, yay! Everybody loves a parade. I have finishes to show you. I have my WIPs to show you. I have things from the retreat I'm going to show you. And then we'll get to the quilt at the very end. But at the end of the parade, we'll have a share, so hang around. Okay, I have, first of all, an FFO, and you'll probably know what this is going to be. It's Midnight Ride by Blackbird Designs. Last time I didn't have the trim yet. I now have the trim on, and there it is. That is, what was that called? Bittersweet from Lady Creates. And Midnight Ride is Blackbird Designs. I stitched it on 32 count platinum. I used all DMC, stitch 2/2. And I finished it on this round box that we've talked about before, and the links are in previous videos. So that's an FFO. Okay, I'm trying to offload stuff here so I don't have a crash. Let's see. Okay, and I have a finished object. Margaret Doyle was my focus piece. Margaret Doyle is a pattern from Hands Across the Sea. This was an exclusive to Kitten Stitcher. I don't know if she has it available anymore, but it's just a beautiful little stitch. And okay, for my new subscribers, I say it's my focus piece. And my rule for myself is that my focus piece will always be my oldest WIP, because it bothers me to have things that I haven't touched and don't get done. So my oldest WIP is my focus piece. I stitch on it at least 7 days in a month, and it remains my focus piece until it's done. So Margaret Doyle was my focus piece, and she is now done. So I will move on to a new focus piece. But here's Margaret Doyle. Isn't she pretty? Now look at this piece of fabric. Why did I start this so close to the top? I don't know. Anyway, I'll probably just sew a strip of fabric on there so I have plenty when I frame it. I will take it in to be framed. So she's been all pressed, ready to go in the project roll until I take her to the framer, because I only press my work when I have finished stitching it, and then I put it in a project roll so it doesn't have to be pressed again before I lace it and put it in the frame. So, Margaret Doyle, isn't she pretty? Okay, Margaret. Okay, I have a cart here to put things on. Okay, that was Margaret Doyle. Okay, now, okay, I finished. So when I finish, this is how I keep track of my projects. I get these books from Fat Quarter Shop, and I think I only have room for one more project in this, and I have my next one blank all ready to go. So what I really like about these books is the table of contents in the front. So when I start a project, I put them in order. Every time I start a project, it goes on the next line. So it is both a table of contents for the book, but it also tells me what my oldest WIP is. Because when I finish, for example, Margaret Doyle in this book was number 12. When I finish, I put the finish date on the page, and I go back to the table of contents and I put the finish date on that line. So to find out my oldest WIP, all I do is go down and see what is the first one that does not have a finish date on it. So when I look at this, it tells me Sweet Summer Come Again, which is a Blackbird design. I started that as my Leanne's Legacy piece, and I will finish it, and then I'll start another one for Leanne's Legacy next year. But that's how I keep track in this book. That's how I know my oldest WIP. And if it doesn't bother you, oldest WIPs, don't worry about it. You do you. Okay, now there's something else I do when I finish a piece. In my book of days, I have added pages at the back, and I have a page where I'm listing finishes. So these are all the things I have finished so far in 2024. In addition, I have a page where I kept track of, these are the WIPs that I had carried over from 2023 into 2024. And when I finish, I put a date on it. So there are only 2 that came in from 2023 that are not yet finished. Sweet Summer Come Again, which is my next focus, and then Ann Borrett, which will be the following focus. And I strongly suspect Ann Borrett will not be done in 2024. So that's how I keep track. Some people wonder, and if you're new, that's what I do. Okay, where did I leave off? Okay, Spell of the Moon, Blackbird Designs. Spell of the Moon is in Winds of Autumn book, and this is Spell of the Moon right here, this little pillow. I had started that, I think I showed it to you one other time, and then when I went to the retreat, that's the project I took to start on before we received our exclusive project from the retreat. So I was just doing a little fill-in, and that's as far as I am so far. Spell of the Moon. It's on I think it's a random fabric. What do I have here? Spell of the Moon. No, it's 32 count flax, and I'm using Classic Colorworks Black Coffee and Honeycomb and DMC 645. And I had a new start. Since I finished one, I thought I would start a new one. So at Stitch Day, I did a new start, and I have started Thomas from Not Forgotten Farm. Just got a little start on it. And I started stitching with one thread, and I don't know what I was thinking. This is 18 count Aida. So I had to go back. When I discovered that, I was supposed to do 2 threads, so I went back and did the second leg over the black that I had done. This has established the width. That's as wide as it's going to be, and this is the height. So I've got that established. So it's stitched 2 over 1 Aida square, and it's 18 count. It started out as Ivory Aida, and I did a coffee over dye of it and rinsed it out and then ironed it, and that's the color that is. So that's Thomas. I was just feeling like something seasonal, so I got going on that one. The next one is my red sampler. I always have a red sampler on the go, and I do at least 3 days in a month on a red sampler. If I feel like more, I do more. So this current red sampler is Anna Ohman. It's from Lila's Studio. Now previously I had the top done and I had the whole border done, so yesterday I finished this motif in this corner. And there'll be matching motifs in each corner, and then there's the big bird center. That's Anna Ohman, Lila Studio. Okay, so I had another new start because at the retreat, as I say, we received an exclusive design from Lucy Beam. The retreat was called the Ranch Retreat, and this was the first annual ranch retreat put on by Rocky Run Ranch General Store and Meridith Weedman. It was a great retreat. I'm going to share information on next year. I'm already planning to go next year. I'll tell you about it, but first let me show you our exclusive design. We received, what did we receive? What was included in our money that we spent on the retreat? We got the exclusive project. We were given a bag. Lucy Beam made the bag, the project bag, and we got, of course, the sample. We got a sampler in a little second here. Here's the sampler. It's called the Shelter Sampler. Let me read you the verse. It is in the shelter of each other that people live. Very sweet little verse. And the colors are just beautiful. And I got to start on that. And then she also made this little pin keep, kind of a memory pin keep, and she put Darth Vader, not only because she's a Star Wars fan, but because James Earl Jones died. So this is a memory. So that's a little bonus pattern we received. Inside the pattern, what is this? Oh, that's my pattern. I can't show you that. Inside, we also received a hoop, fabric wrapped hoop to use. We had everything we needed. I think she also gave us she gave us all the threads on thread drops to match the project, and the bling, all the bling. And she hand wrote every single card. Hand wrote the color, and for everybody. I mean, I can't imagine how much time she spent putting this together, but it's very much appreciated. It's very lovely. Okay, now let me show you my work so far. And once we got this, I worked on this at the retreat. And then I worked on it in the last day in September, because once we got to October, I was starting again with a focus piece. So that's how much I have done so far. I started at the top. One of my friends started in the middle, so it looks different, you know, when you see it from the middle. That's my start on it. The colors are beautiful. And she had it displayed in a beautiful frame. I was sure it must have been a custom frame, but she said no, it was right off the shelf at Hobby Lobby, because this will fit in an 8x10. I hate to show you the picture and stuff, but look at the beautiful frame. Isn't that gorgeous? So of course I ran right out to Hobby Lobby and got it. So I have my frame to finish the piece. Yay. No big question mark of how I will finish it. Okay, so included, we got our sampler and sampler bag, the floss, all that, and the hoop. We got a swag bag from the organizer. It had all kinds of handy things in it, you know, tissues and creams and lotions and manicure things for your nails, and there was a corner gauge that was a gift, I think, from Antique Needleworker. What else, Meredith? It was, I've disassembled all of it now, you know, trying to find places for everything. Oh, and a little book to take notes in. Okay, she gets a little book to take notes in. She also kitted up for us a previous pattern from Lucy Beam, one that she had released, I think it was during pandemic. And it was a free pattern, but I'm still not going to show the, okay, here's the Be Well. It's a pandemic pattern. So Meredith had it all kitted up for us with the threads we need and a needle. Just wonderful. Like I say, it was a wonderful retreat. We also, and then, okay, now kind of my table gifts are kind of getting mixed up, both in my brain and on my table, as to what was a table gift and what was gift from the retreat. Oh, I know this was a table gift. One of my table partners. A book you can cross stitch on. Cover. Nice. Oh, so many things. So many things. Thread drops. A tag, a project bag tag. A purse full, a little zipper pocket full of all kinds of things. Stickers and what else? A tape measure. Cute little tape measure. You know, the little scissors with the cover on that are good to take on the plane. A needle minder, washi tapes, stickers. It's just wonderful. And someone stopped by and gave me this, which is another cute zipper bag with a beautiful pull on it. Stickers, floss, pen. I think that's what was in there, unless I've messed it up, because of course I've been going through everything. This was given to us. I think it was Lila, I think. A waxer. And this was, someone at the retreat gave this, I think she gave it to everyone. She came to my table and gave it, it's a waxer and a needle threader. Lovely, lovely. We got another zipper pull or scissor fob from the Ranch Retreat. And maybe this was in our swag bag, because it says Ranch Retreat 2024. That was from Meridith. Okay, so then again, what we got, we had a make and take craft, which you could do or not do as you wanted. So Rebecca had each table come one at a time to come back to learn how to do the craft. And we made little wool acorns with a real acorn top that we glued to the top. And she had all the wool, and I made two. I went back another time and made another. So after all the tables had gone through, she left all the materials back there. You could go back as many times as you wanted, made more. I made two. But so fun. And I have my little pattern, so maybe I can make some more if I come across the materials. But very fun. So you have a make and take in addition to all the other things we received. Let me see my notes now so I don't skip something. Okay, there were snacks and beverages available the entire time. Snacks being salty snacks, sweet snacks, crunchy snacks, soft snacks. Just such a variety. Chocolate, not chocolate. There were soft drinks and water in the refrigerator. She had a coffee bar set up with all the doings to zhuzh up your coffee any way you wanted to. And that was available the entire time. There were door prizes, and every person there got a door prize. That was really lovely. I'll show you my door prize. I got a train case that has been zhuzhed up to be a sewing case. Whoops, let me turn it the right way here. Open it up. Okay, so let me show you the inside if I can do it without dumping stuff out. So the fabric, it's been lined with beautiful fabric, and there's a tray in the top in which there is a little pin cushion and a needle threader with a little drop on it, like a little spool. It also has a little fabric cover to go over a magnifying lamp so you don't start a fire. And a little project bag that matches, it all matches. Isn't that sweet? That was a wonderful door prize. And I thank you so much, the person who made it. I can't remember, was her name Anne? I may have forgotten. I shouldn't even say because I don't want to say the wrong thing. So that was my door prize. And as I say, everyone there received a door prize. So it was fun. Okay, so there's that. Okay, and there was a nice variety of vendors. You could get anything you needed. They had patterns. There was a wide assortment of threads, like was it Gentle Arts or Weeks? Anyway, a display of threads. You could get project bags. You can get all the bling, all the accoutrement, floss drop cards, the whole thing. It was a nice variety. And then plus, I can't remember the daughter's name. Rebecca's daughter is Lapin Loops. And so she was there selling fabric, which was wonderful. I got to get the fabric I needed for 2 patterns I already had. Okay, let me talk about this before I jump to my haul. It was a great space. The number of attendees was capped at 40 this year. Next year it's going to be capped at 60, and the space can accommodate that many more tables without crowding. It was very nice to be able to feel that you could push your chair back, not be bumping into someone. There was room for everyone to walk around if they wanted to, even when the table was full. There was plenty of room. The lighting was good, even though I still used my light and magnifier. What else do I want to say? Okay, I have one personal message. Jennifer, who I met, she's from my town here. Jennifer, I hope you're watching. I tried to contact you on Instagram and message you, and it said your account couldn't be found. So please email me. My email is in the notes below, or message me on Instagram, because we want to get a Stitchy get together right here in town. So that would be great. So Jennifer, sorry, I tried to contact you, but it didn't work. Okay, information for next year's retreat. Let me show this. Let me show this. Okay. Okay. Now, I've already copied this and handed it out to everyone in my Stitch group, so they have the information. So there's, if you want to screenshot that, but let me give you the essential information here closer, if you want to do that. And I'll type the essential information in the contact or in the notes below, so you can contact. As I say, I've already planned. I'm going back next year. It was great. Oops, that's going to fall. Okay, haul. This is kind of mixed in with retreat because I did make a few purchases at the retreat. Okay, here's the first piece of haul I want to show you. This is from a new designer. It's called Ruby's Garden Designs. Look at that crow. There's no DMC 310 in this. Isn't it gorgeous? A not black crow sampler. Ruby's Garden Designs. This is the first one I have gotten. I will be getting more. And we'll talk about her again when we get to our little share after the parade. So we'll come back to that. Okay, now here's my haul that's kind of all mixed up. I got my Floss Frenzy from Fat Quarter Shop. This is Weeks Dye Works flosses. They're working their way through the alphabet, and so I will put these, the plastic drops I've shown before, and get those into my box. Now, when I was at the retreat, I was able to get the fabric I needed for 2 Lucy Beam patterns that I had previously purchased. So I have Lucy Beam, you know, bind cross stitch like I'm immortal, and it called for crypt cloth, and this is crypt cloth. Isn't it pretty? Let's see, it's a little, yeah, maybe that's more like what it is. Crypt cloth, and it's from Lapin Loops. This is this 40 or 36? This is 40 count, and that's the fabric that's called for buying cross stitch like I'm immortal. So I have that kitted up now. I have my DMCs in the back, so that's ready to go. Ready to go, like so many others I have. The other pattern I had already was Evaluation Center for Disturbed Women. Look at that fabric. And here it is. Oh, come on. Witch's Brew. Isn't that gorgeous? Purple and green. I love it. I got 40 count, but that's what's called for the pattern. So I have the fabric, and I have my DMCs in there. Oh, and there's a Weeks in there too. Weeks Purple Haze. Okay, so I have my threads and my fabric, so those are ready to go. Those are Lucy Beam. Let's see. I got a kit, a pendant stitching kit. So it'll be like a little floss bling when I get that done. That's all kitted up. I found a new sampler pattern from La Di Da. Isn't that pretty? What's the name? Mary Collier. Whoops. Mary Collier. Isn't that pretty? It's got all the things we love. House, flowers, lots of red. Okay, so La Di Da. Okay. Okay, I got a strawberry shaped waxer. Pretty, with a pretty topper on it. A zipper pull for a bag. It says X stitch and it has a little tomato bead on the top. Wish I could find those beads. I love that. Bought some bling. Thread drop. How pretty. I know what bag that's going to go on or with. And then there are two. Here's the other one. Here it is. Okay. Two more little blings. One that's a Santa, one that's a patriotic. Very reasonably priced. Everything was just wonderful. And this little zipper pull or scissor fob, isn't that beautiful? It's wood and it unscrews. If I can, here, I don't want to drop it. So you can keep your treasure in there of whatever. Okay, and previously I had gotten something from 123 Stitch. Don't remember what it was, but I needed to have something else with it because you don't pay postage for just one thing. So I, from my wish list, got this one. Cece Schmidt? Shishi Schmidt? I don't know how, it's a Dutch. This is from the Scarlet House. Brenda, the sampler stitcher, made that long ago. I've loved it ever since, so I've got it now in my stack of things to get going soon. Okay. We are ready for a parade. So, clear the streets, hold back the crowds. Here we go. These are previous finishes of mine that are Halloween and fall themed. So I have framed things and other pieces, and I'm going to roll this cart out of the way. And I'll start here. Okay. One of the earlier ones I did was Stitching with the Housewives, Boo. This was when they were still designing with Kathy Haberman of Hands On Designs. And I did the series. And this is on with magnets. It gets switched out. And I have that metal stand that it stands in. That's Boo. Oh, there's a little pillow. I didn't pull the pillow out. Okay. Prairie Schooler, Trick or Treat. Love Prairie Schooler. They're just classic. The color blocking, I just love. It's so dynamic. And then what I made to be a companion is All Hallows Eve, also Prairie Schooler, of course. And these are in standard frames. I don't remember the size of the frame. I think it's bigger than 8 by 10. It could be 8 by 10. So I have these two. Love Prairie Schooler. Everybody loves Prairie Schooler. Get these. Okay. This one is We Three. This is from Lindy Stitches. And it's a quote from Macbeth. I love the expression. She got the expression on these cat faces so well. Look at that. It's just blank spots for the eyes, and then it was, you know, the little whiskers. And it's so cute because they don't want to be in the rain. Anyway, We Three, Lindy Stitches. Okay. Halloween Quaker, Lila Studio, one of my all-time favorites. The way these bright colors jump out with that fabric. And I stitched this on Tornado from Fox and Rabbit and on 40 count. It's a beautiful, beautiful fabric to use for a Halloween-y kind of design. I found the Quakers to be quite challenging. Oofda. Okay, this is more fall, maybe Thanksgiving-y. I pulled this one out because I also have the companion pillow, Celebrate Harvest. But this was the Brenda Gervais with the Needle and Thread Coming to America. It was published in recognition of the 400th anniversary of Thanksgiving. I think that was 400 because I finished it in 2000, right? 2000, let me see. Yeah, no, yeah, 2000, 2020. So it's Coming to America. I think my framer did a great job with this one. Okay. Okay. We have some more fall. Cinnamon Stars. Now I recently had this reframed, so you saw it not too long ago, but new people haven't seen it at all. Cinnamon Stars from Plum Street. It's a classic too. You see this a lot. Love the colors, just love it. I think it was on Vintage Country Mocha. No, it was Tea-Dyed Lugana. The name of it being tea-dyed. I didn't tea-dye it. Feast of Friendship, Blackbird Designs. See this one all over too. I love my frame. I think it really, really enhances it. Mighty Acorn, Blackbird Designs. This also came from the book Winds of Autumn, the same one that Midnight Ride and Spell of the Moon came from. Love it, love the colors. I did quite a few DMCs, but the house I did stay with Schneckley and any of the other overdyes that I had in my stash I did, but otherwise I did switch out for DMCs. But again, that's beautiful. So those are my framed pieces. Oh, I have a whole big basket of goodies here. Oof. Okay. Okay, so I have here a flat fold finish that I got the instructions from Vanna Pfeiffer. This is a Jardin Privé pattern. I think it's called Halloween. I could be wrong, but I think it's called Halloween. Love this one. And a flat fold is so nice. You don't have to worry about, oh, what frame will I do? It'll just stand up and be on your shelf all by itself. I mean, without help. And this one is Something Wicked from La-Di-Da or Lila Studio. Oh, no, I'm confused. I looked it up earlier. I'm sorry. I think it's La-Di-Da. But it's called Something Wicked. And of course, I just recently showed you this because I did the painting and the crackle finish on this. And I just have it on a little easel stand on a table. Halloween Quaker, I think. It's Susan Aki. This was a free pattern from Aurifil Design. I think it's Halloween Quaker. Beautiful. And I used all DMC on it. Her design was for Aurifil, but I switched to DMC as closely as I could. Okay. Okay, here are some Prairie Schoolers. This is a whole set. The pattern is called Pumpkins, Prairie Schooler, and it's called Pumpkins. 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 5 patterns in the pattern set. This one is Owl. I got a stick from the yard and put an actual stick on there for the owl. The oak leaves. See, so some of these will stay out after Halloween's over. These are certainly through Thanksgiving. Love those colors. That's all DMC. Finished it the way it was recommended in the book with a button on the back. And there's a little turkey. Oh, you know what? There's another one upstairs that's a little pumpkin face. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there are actually 7 patterns in the book because there's one I did not do. I ran out of fabric. This is the turkey. Again, finished the same way in the back. And the acorn. And I forgot the little pumpkin face. Finished the same way. So that's Prairie Schooler, called Pumpkins. Okay, this one is Brenda Gervais, Celebrate Harvest. This was a companion pattern that came with Coming to America. It's now been released separately. I'm sorry, I can't keep my hands off it here. It's a little soft. I should have put way more stuff in it. It's heavy. And I used that fabric that was included in that box on the back. I hated to waste any of it, but I couldn't figure out anything else to do with that fabric. So, Celebrate Harvest, Brenda Gervais. This is Susan Aki, Learn to Fly. I did this just this year. This came in the book, not Vintage Halloween. Oh, I should have pulled it out. It's right over there. Anyway, I did that through Flat Quarter Shop, and on the back I put a little bulb pin with an orange button and the date charm. This is Learn to Fly. Okay, this is a little older. Hilda Boo and Sunflowers 2, Brenda Gervais. I tried to finish it as closely as I could to her by putting a bow on there, and I did checkered on the back. And the closing on this, I did not my normal way. I was copying, someone said they do it like this. They leave it open there, and then that's where they stitch it. I think I prefer it on the seam. And then again, I had a hard time filling it full enough because of that in the middle on the back. So, Hilda Boo and Sunflowers 2, Brenda Gervais. Ye Old Crow, Heart in Hand. That's a classic too. I've also done the bluebird and the redbird and the hummingbird. I love that. Just plain black, and I didn't put any trim around it. I didn't think it needed it. Okay, this is Witch's Brew, Brenda Gervais. And the little spoon I got from Country Stitches Online, that's her shop, and I did put the year charm on it when I did it, what year, 2021. Witch's Brew, and I put purple rickrack and used the black check on the back. Okay, and here's the Boo pillow that goes with the pumpkin that I showed in the frame. This was Stitching with Housewives and Kathy Haberman Hands-On Design collaboration. And this is the Boo pillow. And the pins that I bought to go with it are sticking in the top of the frame. So there's another recent one, again from Winds of Autumn, called October 31, and finished it as it was pictured. I did a pin pillow. Herringbone stitches that I added. Oops, is it upside down? Yeah, show it right side up. And this one you saw recently, also from the book The Winds of Autumn, Blackbird Designs. That book is worth its weight in gold, I'll tell you. And this one had a trip to the State Fair this year. Again, the colors are just wonderful. Love it, love it. And I did a little different change to the finish. I didn't put as many leaves on as were called for. I did a wool stem, and what else? Oh, and I tied a bow around it to give it a little finish, but that's that one. And Strutting Tom, Lindy Stitches. I tried, oops, I'm sorry, it's kind of floppy. I tried to finish it as closely as I could to the way she finished it, but the colors are beautiful in this turkey. I love that pattern there. And the chenille trim, I tied in a bow at the corner, at the ending corner, and had a button and a year charm with a bulb pin on the front. Strutting Tom, Lindy Stitches. Boy, that's a whole basket of goodness. Pile them back in here, because I gotta get them off the table here. Sorry. I need a Brenda to help me. Okay, get this off. Okay. Okay, now, time for the clowns to come and throw out the candy at the end of the parade. Okay, I've spent time in my sewing room doing some stitching, some for me and some for you. One of the things I made was a mini project holder using Tiger Lily Designs Mini Project Keeper. I used my fabrics left from Modern Vintage, Bonnie and Camille, one of my favorite all-time groups of fabrics. I could probably squeeze out another one or two. So this one is for me because I love those colors. Lots of pink in it. Okay, so that one's for me. So one for me, two for you. And I'll give you the details in just a minute on the giveaway. These were made from the same bundle, fat quarter bundle, so the colors are the same, but they, ended up differently. The color of pockets in one is not the same as the pockets in the other. And of course it has 2 slip pockets, and then each has a vinyl zipper pocket in front of it. I'll show the inside of the other one. And this one, similar colors, but different. Again, slip pocket, vinyl pocket, vinyl pocket. All from the same fabric bundle. Okay. And I made a project bag for myself. Made the one with the red sampler. And then that familiar one for the lining, and this one is for me. And I made 3 for you. Now I'll tell you the numbers and everything in just a minute. Let me show you what they are first here. Okay, so this is Blackbird Designs fabric. This is the blue flowered fabric. And then that familiar sampler lining. This is again, Blackbird fabric. This is a blue sampler lining, and the stripes, and the back. My project bags are all vinyl front bags. Okay, and then we have the yellow Blackbird fabric, and a neutral lining. So I have 3 of those. Now, and I told you I was going to mention, again, Ruby's Garden Designs, and she is on Etsy. Ruby's Garden Designs, plural, on Etsy. So our share this time. Now remember the rules. You must be 18 in order to legally give me your address. Do not use those words the internet trolls look for in your comments. Don't say win or prize or gift or free. None of that. Just put the numeral that I'm going to tell you. Now, my friend Shelley, Ruby's Garden Designs, is offering 2 gift certificates, and it's PDF, so it can go anywhere. So If you are interested in, and this is just one of her designs, you wouldn't have to get this one. I'm just holding this up because this is the first one I've gotten. If you want the opportunity to use a gift certificate on her site, put the numeral 1. Remember, don't spell out the word, just put 1. And I'm going to have 2 to give away, but just put the numeral 1. And if you win that, you will send me your email address and I will communicate it to Shelley and she'll take care of the gift certificate for you. So that's number 1, 2 gift certificates. Number 2. Okay, there are 2 of these. If you are interested in either one, there won't be a choice. I will draw 2 for number 2. If you would like one of these mini project keepers in the fall Halloween-ish colors, put the number 2. Don't spell out the word, put the number, the numeral 2. And you could have one of these. And you can enter for all of these, but you'll only win one. Okay. If you are interested in the blue flowered vinyl front project bag, this is the blue flowered project bag, put the numeral 3. If you are interested in the blue sampler fabric, put the numeral 4. And if you are interested in the blue flowered project, yellow flowered project bag, ignore what I say. The yellow project bag, put the numeral 5. Okay, the random comment picker will pick on October 25, and that's the day I'll film my next Flosstube. So you must like the video, you must comment on the video, and all the other things. You have to be 18 and over, and I would appreciate it, please, if you would be a subscriber. Okay, and then I will draw on October 25th, and that's my shares for this time. So the parade's over. Yay! We all caught the candy that the clowns threw out. Okay, now I'm going to move on to the featured quilt, so there'll be a little bit of movement here, so don't get queasy. And I think I'm done with my, no, I better keep that up because I have to remember the name. Okay, I'm going to move the table, I'm going to move the camera, so hang on just 1 minute. Sorry. Okay, this quilt is called Star Surround. Oh, I'm not aiming it right there. Star Surround. It was designed by Melissa Corey, and I got it through her blog back in the years when I did blogs and followed blogs and all that stuff. Let's see, I think it was a free pattern, but I did buy the fabric bundle from her because I love the colors. So this was an early on quilt that I made after I got my long arm. So I was practicing designs. You'll as I get closer, you'll recognize the designs, but they were very new to me, and I was learning how to manipulate the head of that machine and making it go diagonal while I'm making a design, which was very new to me. It's a huge quilt. The blocks are 24 inches. So this is an 8-foot by 8-foot quilt. Oops, let me see, there you go, down to the bottom. So they're all the same, so it repeats. So let's start with one of these. Okay, so the block went from here to here to here to here. So that was a 24-inch block. I hope you're seeing what I'm pointing to. Okay, so in the stars, in the center, and it's the same on the whole quilt. Every block is done the same way. So the grays have the figure eight. The yellows have the 2 lines, and then it's filled with the bubbles or pebbles. You'll recognize the L's and E's going around the corner, L's and E's, L's and E's, L's and E's all the way around. And then the points of the star have the two lines. And there's lots of refrigerator coil or matchstick quilting there, and more pebbles, 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 pebbles. And then in these, where the blocks come together and they overlap, there's an on-point square gets formed. And this is ribbon candy in the center, which was so new to me. I don't know, my brain wasn't liking that very much. And especially when I had to go diagonally on that ribbon candy. Oh my word. That was hard. And of course I didn't want to change my thread, so I used the same color thread everywhere. So every little blip in the white really, really shows. But it's real, I think it's an effective quilting pattern. But again, it repeats and repeats. Every block is the same, and where the four blocks come together, this design is the same every place. It makes it look like the black is overlaying the white in the corners. Again, ribbon candy, refrigerator coil, matchstick, ribbon candy, refrigerator coils, L's and E's, and the little chevron and the triangles. It was a fun quilt to make. It was very satisfying because you got a block done, and boy, you had a big chunk of the quilt done. So there are 16 blocks, right? 4 by 4, yep, 16, I can do that math. And I did this in 2015. I don't know if the pattern is available from Melissa at this point in time. I don't know, I haven't looked at blogs for a long time. She may have moved on to more professional stuff because she was really, really talented. But I love it. It has not been on a bed, but I love it. It's kind of wild and bold, but. So that's the quilt for this week. There's nothing to show on the long arm right now. I've taken Patchwork Barn down, and when I clear up my sewing room, I have projects piled all over the place in here. Of course, I've been doing project bags. I've started working on the purse project from Fig Tree. And I have to clear the decks so that I can spread that quilt out on my cutting table and square it off, trim it up, and do the binding. So that'll come, but I have to do some cleaning first. So, okay, I will be back on October 25th. And if you liked this video and are not subscribed, please subscribe. I really appreciate it. And be sure to enter the numbers that you are interested in receiving a share from me. And I look forward to seeing you all again in 2 weeks. Thanks so much, Flosstube. Bye-bye.